Hello YouTube, Freddy Cardona here. Welcome back to another Pride in Patterson video. In this episode, we're doing a feature every street video. Let's get you the tour of your East 17th Street. I wanted to thank you guys again, the viewers, the subscribers. Got to show Old Glory there, flowing majestically. Here on 3rd Ave. Good old red, white, and blue. Always love showing that on the channel. All right, 3rd Avenue right now. And that's the stadium over there that I was telling you about. The baseball park. Stadium. I shouldn't say stadium, it's a park. So we're going to make a right here on East 17th Street. We've got Trajanowski's Cocktail and Lunch establishment there on the corner. Let's get this camera in a good position. We've got Riverside Travel and Multi-Services. Doesn't look like there's a lot of traffic on this street, so I can probably go slow. We're heading south here on East 17th Street. I will try to drive slow. Let me go a little bit wide angle. Maybe let you see some of the fronts of the buildings here on the sides. It is garbage day, so you're going to see a lot of garbage cans here on the sidewalks. As we proceed here on the corner of 4th Ave and East 17th Street. One of the reasons I started this Pride in Patterson channel is that I noticed a lot of people, for some reason, feel there's this embarrassment that they were born in Patterson, and they're sad about it. They wish they weren't born in Patterson. Or some people who are sad and don't want, or embarrassed at living in Patterson and having a Patterson address when they're asked, where do you live, what's your address? And I noticed it's only in Patterson. People from Brooklyn, people from the Bronx, they don't have that embarrassment. In fact, they're really proud. When you ask them where they're from and they're from Brooklyn or the Bronx, they're really proud of that. As they should be. And I hear that quite a bit where I work, because in my job I have to ask certain information when I ask for someone's ID and ask them if they're still living here or where we're, it's part of the process that my job entails. And I have to ask where were you born? And almost always I hear them say, when they're from Brooklyn or the Bronx, there's this sense of pride when they go, oh, Brooklyn, yo, I'm from Brooklyn, yo. Yo, I'm from the Bronx. Yo, the Bronx, baby. And you should be proud of that. That's your hometown. As we get to 8th Avenue. So, a couple of times I'll ask someone, where were you born? And one lady actually said to me, don't hold this against me. I was born in Patterson. And that struck me as, why would you be embarrassed at where you were from? What is there to be embarrassed about? Crime? You're embarrassed because there's a lot of crime in Patterson? There's a lot of crime in the Bronx. There's a lot of crime in Brooklyn. There's a lot of crime in New York. But no one's embarrassed from being in those towns. So, yeah, gangs? Because there's gangs here? Well, there's gangs everywhere. There's gangs in New York. There's organized gangs in New York. There's street gangs everywhere. Brooklyn, the Bronx. If you hear the news, and I do have a 1010 Wins Driving in the News playlist where I listen to the news every day. Almost every single broadcast, there's a shooting and a murder in New York. There's a shooting and a murder in Brooklyn. There's a shooting and the murder in the Bronx. So they're not embarrassed to being from being in the Bronx. They're not embarrassed from being from Brooklyn. They're not embarrassed. In fact, if you tell people I live in Manhattan, that's pride, Manhattan. Shootings in Manhattans, terrorist attacks in Manhattan. But no one's embarrassed about being from there. As I take a break from my jabbering to see Patsy's Tavern. So, yeah, gangs, that's a reason not to be proud of your streets. You got litter. You got some streets that are dirty. There's litter on the ground. Well, if you drive in Brooklyn, if you drive in the Bronx, you think you're not going to see litter? You're going to see litter there too. So, yeah. The reason I started Pride in Patterson playlist is just to let people know you do not have to be embarrassed to be from Patterson. You don't have to be embarrassed to say you live in Patterson. Patterson is a big city, and every single big city has what Patterson has. Crime, litter, the works. All right, let's keep it going. Where are we here as I jab on? We just crossed 7th Avenue. And we're going past 8th Avenue. So yeah, don't be embarrassed. We all know Patterson is not perfect. No big city is. But you don't need to be embarrassed. With this Featuring Every Streets program, you're getting to see that Patterson is not this war zone. I don't think you see any troops here right in front of you, do you? That's a war zone. You don't see shelled out houses, right? In fact, you see nice houses. See? Right there, there's a nice house right there. That's not a war zone. You see kids going to school. Kids don't go to school in a war zone. And a garbage dump. People say this place is a garbage dump. Well, garbage dumps have mountains of garbage that are like 10 feet high. Where do you see mounds of garbage that are 10 feet high? You don't, right? And people say Patterson's a third world country. So show me kids on the streets barefoot selling little knickknacks. You see any? On my Feature Every Street program, does anyone see children in their bare feet selling knickknacks on the side of the road like you would see in a third world country? Show me the lack of electricity here in all of the Feature Every Streets. And not just Featuring Every Streets, but also all the other Pride in Patterson videos. Show me the lack of electricity, the lack of running water. You don't see that, do you? What do you see? Ahead, you see a landscaper or a construction fixing someone's driveway. You don't see that in a war zone. You don't see that in a third world country. And you don't see that at a garbage dump. And this is Putnam Street, the end of East 17th Street. All right, guys, short and sweet. Thank you for letting me blabber on about Patterson. But after all, that's what this channel is about, or that's what this playlist is about. I also have several other playlists, and I'll outline them here really quick for you before I go. It's Fred Drives, where I show the surrounding towns of Patterson and some of the Northeast New Jersey highways and byways. That's Fred Drives. And another playlist I have is Driving and the News. And the reason I did that one is because I don't want history to be, I don't want these broadcasts to be lost to history. You know, 1010 Wins is an iconic station for people here in the Northeast area. We've grown up on it. We've listened to the news. Give us 20 minutes, we'll give you the world. So what I do is I do listen to the news on my way to work every day, and I decided to start uploading the broadcasts so that there's a history, there's a record of that history. And the first video that I actually did for Driving in the News, I did that in Patterson while I was driving in Patterson, and I did that on September 7th. That's going to be the anniversary of Driving and the News. So if you go back, check out some of those videos. You can hear random broadcasts from that day for New York City metropolitan area. So that's Driving in the News. And I also have a relaxation playlist. And that's for folks who want to just chill, listen to either rain. Maybe you have trouble sleeping and you want to put a sleep video on, and you hear the sounds of the rain drops on your window. And it's a hectic world, so we all need to sit back, relax. And there's one that I did that's particularly, the reason I did that was, it's an hour video, and I did that for folks who want to relax on lunchtime and just kind of like take a load off and try to relieve some of that stress from work. So that one of them is an hour. There's some that's a 12-hour video that helps you sleep. And I just did a food review in North Haledon. So if you want to check that out, it's on my channel. I did a review on Puzo's Pizzeria. So I'm hoping to do more food reviews. So if anyone wants to recommend a location, a restaurant here in the Northeast area, relatively close to Passaic County and Bergen County, if I get a chance, I'll check it out and review it for you. No promises though. The schedule is really hectic, but I may try to do that. So yeah, there's lots of stuff. All things Fred here on the Freddy Cardona channel. All right, guys. Again, thank you for putting up with all of my blabbing. We're going to see you on the next Pride in Paterson video and the next Feature Every Street video. Take care, guys.